Hello there and welcome to another video. Today we are here taking a look at just all of these magazines. That one's definitely new, and the reason we're here is to hunt for the brand new Ninjago magazine that literally came out a few hours ago. It's basically opening time. Not that one, this one back here with Lloyd as a minifigure, cool character as well. And there's a sneak peek of what we can expect in 2 months, because they do swap out with the DC magazines as well every other month. But I'm going to be parting out this poly bag. Actually, I'll probably be keeping the minifigure. Yeah, I didn't realize I was recording this section, so I don't know what I'm doing here. But I want to steal some pieces to improve my custom 3PO that I've been waiting on since the piece was first issued January 1st of this year, which is 2025 for anyone watching this video in the far off future. When I sort out whatever it is I'm trying to do with the camera here, you can see that the magazine, $4.99 for this poly bag, isn't too bad when the piece I want right there at the top costs £3 to deliver. The next Star Wars magazine, which should be coming out soon, is Ahsoka Tano's minifigure. We have this pretty cool thought. I'm definitely going to try building the hammer at some point in this video. I do really like that. For the Marvel magazine, for the DC magazine, this one's brand new, and then we also have a special edition of the Lego Ninjago magazine with not just one, but 2 tins and all 4 minifigures that you can see on the tins, and that only costs $8.99, which isn't far off the Star Wars one. For anyone wondering, the next month's issue of this will include likely another tin with these 2 figures. We've got this jungle hoverboat in the Lego City magazine. I think the Technic build is out of this world, and I also really like the fact that it's got the clear cockpit of another one of the smaller builds, and that dish definitely belongs on 3PO. Minecraft not only has a creeper and a slime, but also a herd or a hero on the right side of the screen. And then the Jurassic poly bag's a bit misleading. At first I thought it comes with this minifigure. Turns out it's just the raptor in the cage, but it doesn't look too bad. But these are just the magazines, so how's the rest of the Lego looking? Well, it's a little disappointing if I do say so myself. There are some kind of good deals, like this Speed Champions F1 car, $15.95. That's good. And the creator set's always on a sale. Superman was down to £10. None of them left. Actually, there were 2 of them left over on the left-hand side. And Captain Rex also nowhere to be seen because $8.40 is really good. I also got completely distracted on the way out and passed these vases, which I'll show you what they're for in a minute. But I did end up swapping the DC magazine for this vase, and here is our purchase. So we got the Ninjago magazine for me. I picked up the vase for my partner to hold some of her Lego flowers that I got her for her birthday. Can I interrupt your video with a very special gift? Here you go.
Why am I nervous?
You don't need to be nervous.
You didn't!
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me just see the...
No, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that.
Oh, do you know what? That weren't as bad.
It's not,
That's not
is
too
it?
bad, actually. Thank you, Mum.
First off, sorry I don't have my microphone with me, but I sat down to read this magazine before I absolutely pull it apart. And the first thing I noticed was this little pause the screen, play with a magazine, which is not only catchy, but also is quite nice considering a lot of what Lego do nowadays is on a screen. And I also noticed whilst looking at the Technic magazine that it is Blue Ocean, or the German publisher of these magazines, that actually create these magazines. So I guess they also want to stay in business, you know, with Lego being very digital. Even the instructions, let's face it, even the instructions for Lego are becoming digital. So I wonder how long before they just digitize these magazines as well. But surely, you know, the puzzles inside, it's not going to be the same if they ever do. We also have our posters that, of course, we're going to get to, and all the puzzles on the inside, as well as building our figure. I'm a fan of Ninjago. That's a nice helmet and still a nice weapon, even if we're stealing that element there. I'll have to find a replacement piece, and also look at that new hill. We'll take a look later when we got the figure out. And there's also a golden lotus. I don't think I have any of those elements yet. But on the first page, we've got a full page spread, an advertisement for Lego Dreams Season 3, Enter the Cyber Game. And I have watched both seasons of Dreams so far, so I will be watching Season 3. But when I get it up on the YouTubes here, you can see season 1, we've also got season 2, and we got a trailer for season 3. But I just can't find the playlist anywhere. There's a few other videos as well. So have Lego actually killed Dreams? On the official Dreams page, there's a stream with season 3 on, and there is a few episodes of season 3. I just can't find the playlist. These are single episodes. They're only 20 minutes long. What happened to the 2-hour episodes? Where have they gone? I'm gonna spend so long looking for this. I might just have to watch, because these can't be in order. These are the most recently released. Maybe I go to the end of this. All right, I think I might have worked it out. This here is the entirety of season 3, which started airing just over a month ago. So we've got episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is about an hour and 40 minutes, maybe a little less when you get rid of the credits. And then they've got a season 3, the story so far, which is just over an hour long. And I guess summarizes those first episodes without having to watch through all of it. So I'm tempted to just watch the story so far, but I feel like there's going to be a few jokes and fun gags that are missed out. So I'm going to go back through the start. I'm tempted to watch it. And then we have 6, 7, and another story so far. 8, 9, 10, and a few trailers. I think that's the story. So wait, is season 3 over? 10 episodes seems like a lot. Maybe these are like the missing... I'm going to have to Google this. Now I'm even more confused. These are the first 10 episodes that come out in June, and July the 11th, I think this is like 9th of June, and then the 11th of July, another 10 episodes came out. So where are they? Boxed In is the 10th episode, but once we go across from this, there's just these Join the Club and More, and Lunia and More? Have they bundled the next 10 episodes into these 2 parts, which are only really the length of 4? Maybe the original episodes got removed or something. No, Join the Club and Lunia aren't names of any of these episodes. I'm going to work this out, get to watching the first 10 episodes, and then we'll take a better look at the magazine.
When I was their age, all I wanted to do was stay up late and watch TV.
Well, what do you want to do at this age?
Same thing.
Yeah.
This is for anyone that says this is a kid's show. A little update on Dreams. I've just finished the first episode. It's as good as the last 2 seasons. Go watch it if you haven't already. And the second episode is actually the name of one of those 2 videos we saw earlier, Lunia and Everything Has Changed is the one I've just watched. This episode is called Join the Club. That's the one. So they're from season 1 still. And I had a quick Google. There's been a delay for part 2 of season 3. It's no longer the 11th of July. I don't know if it ever really was. That's what Google was saying. It's coming out on August 1st. So that's only like a week's time, which isn't bad because it gives me some time to get through, like 3.5 hours of all the other episodes. So I'm not going to do it all today, but at least I know I've got the time before part 2 drops, and then August 1st or as soon as I can, I'll be catching up on part 2. So now you know, part 2 coming out August 1st. And so are a lot of really cool Lego Star Wars sets. I'm all for Lego releasing a ton of cute droids in these shows. And that's clearly a printed 1x2 little slope piece there. And then we've got a 1x2 plate, a 2x4 plate underneath. Technic bricks at the back for the arms with maybe a jumper on top for some of maybe like a snot brick on the head. Black eye in the middle, those frying pan styles up the side. But how on earth are we to create those wheels? I don't think it's possible. We're probably like 10 minutes into the video by now. With everything that's gone on this morning, we'll be taking a look at this magazine, stealing the piece, and now building Thor's hammer and the little Dreams robot on top. I can't resist an awesome little Lego build, but I'm going to take this off. Usually there are instructions for... It's a minifigure. Do I really need instructions for this weapon? No, I don't think they're going to supply instructions. I'm used to Star Wars builds having instructions on the inside. All the other magazines just give us minifigures. I don't think there's rarely ever a side build, let alone instructions on the inside of the magazine. So let's peel this off And I guess we're going to be doing the minifigure first. When it comes to Lego's paper poly bags, I'm probably not their first fan. I'm probably like in the 400s, but I really do like them. However, you can see here, ripping off the tape for a collector that may want to collect, you know, one of every single bag. Most of us are collecting the things inside the bag, so there are going to be people that want the bags and the magazines. Yeah, paper isn't a great material, especially for longevity. This thing's going to biodegrade a lot quicker than the foil or any sort of plastic packets. But now let's get this open. Again, another, ooh, that's bright. Another blue ocean stamp on the back of the packet here. But at least the paper ones are just as easy to open up as those foil packets from back in the day. Now that the music stopped, here is the weapon for our ninja, for Lloyd, isn't it? Yes, for Lloyd. Got one of these green swords, which have been used in Dreams, and I will be adding this to my lightsaber collection because I quite like all the different sword elements that we get. But the one element, let's have Lloyd hold the weapon first. This is Lloyd's regular face, right there. And then we have more of a video game face. I remember the little arcade sets coming out, but I stopped watching Ninjago after like the first season, so I don't really know enough. I'm really following along with the storyline. I'm just happy that we're seeing more snakes in Ninjago toys. I don't even know if they're back canonically, but here we have our Lloyd figure, and that's going to go great. With these two that I've got, I have Kai and... Alright, let's go through this. We've got Kai is the red one. Cole is the black ninja. We have... Who's the white one? Oh, I cannot remember. We got the blue guy though. I'm sure a few of you will remember his name. I wonder if we find out in this magazine. But with that, before we start the magazine, let's put these figures to the side. At least Lloyd's got some company. It's the point I was trying to make. I am really pulling this apart for pieces. This is going to join my lightsaber display, and I might add it to the Dragon Hill, because how cool does that look? The Dragon Hill for Ninjago, I've seen it in a few sets. I think it's not exclusive to Ninjago sets either. I think it's popped up. I don't really know where it's popped up, but how cool is this Ninjago dragon? There's a close-up at just how detailed the dragon head on the bottom of this hilt is. And now, I'm gonna say it, why don't we get these detailed hilts in Star Wars? But the piece that I really want isn't this nice little flower petal here. It's actually the 1x1 clip that's holding this entire claw together, and we will be trying to replace that if you do still want the Ninjago weapon. But most recently, this piece is used in black on the brand new battle pack, the new Star Court battle pack. So I had an extra one that I used for my 3PO, and it stands out quite a bit. As you can see, I've still got a few Geonosis parts that I need to pick up, but I've got an arm and a torso for now, the gold head of 3PO, and a black neck bracket, which doesn't look too good. Here's a look at 3PO before we switch up the bracket, and here's a look at 3PO after we've switched the gold bracket. It just looks so much better. That being said, at some point I am going to have to get the other Geonosis arm and leg, and hopefully a full Geonosis droid, because why not? That'd be lovely to add to my collection. I only have a few torsos and a few bent arms. But if you weren't aware of my 3PO collection, I will leave a link on the end screen for you to go check out, because I have one of pretty much every single 3PO. I think I've actually got them all, in Lego form at least, and it's just dawning on me that to rebuild this weapon I can just use the black clip and attach most of the parts back. I mean, it still looks like a dangerous weapon to be wielded, but the other parts are going into different collections. Now it's time to have a quick run through of the Lego Ninjago magazine, which includes taking a look at those two posters before we build Thor's Mjolnir and that cool little robot, was it Wheelie? We've already seen what's in the front page with the dreams and That's showing what we've got. Oh, find the forbidden chicken. I like the look of this. It was thought to have disappeared into the nether space forever, but now it has reappeared. I'd love to get a model. After getting the pigeon, I'd love to get a load more birds, but now it's reappeared. The forbidden chicken. It's hiding on a page with a chicken above the page number. Page number... Where are the page numbers? Are they at the bottom? Yeah, Oh. Okay, so is that it? Or it's hiding on pages, multiple pages. Imagine if we just found it on the first one. So there is a chicken somewhere on this page. All right, I can't say I found... Oh, we do have assembly instructions for the minifigure as well. Not that we needed them. But the chicken is somewhere, and does it count on the double spread as well? Is it hiding somewhere on both pages, or is it just on, I assume it's just on this right page, no? I'm gonna have to come back and have a little look through this. We've got a few puzzles and a little bit of story down the left-hand side, keeping an eye out for that chicken. We have, again, a few more puzzles. There's the chicken again. Is it gonna be on every single page? All right, we're going to have to find at least one of these chickens to know how big they are. I thought that was the chicken for a second. That's not a chicken. That's a minifigure. There we go. No chicken on this page. There's a little... Is this drawing the torso of this guy who was on... One of these guys were in the next Ninjago tin on the special magazine with the tins. There's the comics. Love reading through a Lego comic. I'm sure if this is just as fun as the Star Wars one, there'll be so many different references, and this is continued after the posters. So there's the first half, but this is the poster that I'm more interested in personally. As a non-Ninjago fan, I think this poster with the three, hold on, Lloyd in the middle. Please say that that's Kai to the right. I have a feeling Kai might be a different ninja. And then the blue one, hey! It's like this poster was made just for this moment in this magazine of me revealing all three of the minifigures that I own. I know they're not exactly the same minifigures. They must be from around the time based on the looks of the heads under the helmets, but they're not these Dragon Rising torsos. They don't match up. In fact, all three of them have completely different torsos to each other. But it's cool that I got the three colors in the Ninjago magazine, and there's the other half with Russ, who is a villain. I know that much about Ninjago. Again, no chicken here or throughout. Oh, imagine if they put one of the chickens in the comics. No, there's Rhea. I think it was the young dragon that we turned into Toothless on a live stream. And there's the end of the comic. No chickens on the comic pages. All right, let's find this one. There's a bunch of seagulls around. This arguably is the worst page to have a little look for another bird whilst there are seagulls about. And I'm going to assume it's the double spread, which is why we couldn't find it on the other pages. No, I think this needs someone with eyes that are a bit more keen than mine. If you can see it, pause this video and let me know how many of these chickens you can spot. Because so far, I haven't seen a single one. They must be hidden in plain sight. And then we have another game. This one usually is played off of the board, maybe with minifigures and the likes, with a few instructions. Oh, there you go. There's the board for it. You've got an entire 2-page pullout. And then as we saw earlier, the next one is this Spectral Dragonian Warrior. Wouldn't that be cool for like a floating... I think that might be a bit too pow, maybe, for a Force Ghost. But I'm just saying, translucent legs, translucent arms, and a little translucent eye in the helmet. But translucent arms and legs, which are illegal techniques, connecting any translucent element to any non-translucent element is technically an illegal technique based off Lego standards. And it also has an awesome detachable dragon. Oh, does the helmet connect to the wing? Oh, that's pretty cool. We might have to come back and get this. This is going to be in 2 months' time, because as I briefly covered earlier, they do share a spot in the magazines with Batman, DC, and all the Batman episodes. So a little bit to do at the back as well with these little posters or something. But once again, Blue Ocean. Every other month flip between Ninjago and DC. This month Ninjago. Next month we're getting Superman, which is going to be interesting for DC. We didn't see any of the old DC issues in the store at the start of the video, but now it's time to head over to Marvel. We've sorted 3PO, that crosses Star Wars and Ninjago off our list. Now it's time to head over to Marvel for Thor's hammer. To build Thor's hammer, aka Mjolnir, we're first going to need a Thor to watch over us and make sure we're doing this properly. And so that Thor can eventually hold on to Mjolnir, we're going to want to grab ourselves a telescope, which might not seem like the most obvious of pieces, but we do need that stud at the end to connect to a multi-stud snot brick, aka studs not on top. There we go, one with studs or anti-studs on all 6 of the sides of the cube. And this is going to be the base of our hammer. We're then going to take a stud with a hole going straight through and place one on the top and another one on the underside of this snot brick. And the back of here is actually where we're going to clip in later our little blue electric piece, which looks really cool for when Thor's mid-action and swinging Mjolnir into battle. We're covering the 2 sides and the top with grey ingots, all of this in light bluish grey to match the colour of our Mjolnir. And Lego has actually made a Lego piece dedicated to Thor's Mjolnir, but with this coming in a magazine, I wonder if this is going to be the new main piece we get, or the main pieces we get for Thor's minifigure in Lego sets. And then on the back here we can push in that electric piece, and there we have our Lego Mjolnir. However, I am going to make one change to it. I don't like the front. With the studs sticking out, I am not a fan of this front here. So what I'm going to do for my Mjolnir is remove this 1x1 round stud from the front and have this 1x1 tile flush with the rest of the ingots. I think this looks more accurate to Mjolnir. I also think this looks just nicer in general as a hammer. We've got the flat head, and now we can give this to our Thor minifigure and he can fly off and save the day once again. Thor isn't the only minifigure from the magazine that we will be building today, because I also have some Dreams minifigures here to welcome Wheelie into the world. And this is going to be a really difficult build, but we're going to start off with 4 of these frying pan studs and connecting one round black tile to the end, and they're going to be our 4 wheels. So that the wheels can get up inside the body of our wheelie here, we're going to have these 2 rounded off plates which have the holes that will go right through to a 1x2 plate, holding both of these together and acting as that little step up that we need for our 1x2 slope, which isn't printed, though I definitely want to decal the front of this to make it more accurate, and maybe I'll do that when part 2 of Dreams comes out. We want to flip this around for the back of Wheelie here, and to get the arms attached, we're going to use 2 of these 1x1 studs on the side bricks with the stud with the hole going all the way through, though there are a few different options you can use here. And we want to do that on both sides before capping it off with a 1x2 jumper tile. And that's so that we can get the head on Wheelie. But first off, let's connect all these wheels. And just like so, our Wheelie now stands. For the head, I have a special snot brick here that has a stud on both sides, which allows us to connect not just one of these lighter frying pan studs, but 2, like we see in the show, for Wheelie's antennas or ears, or just for the really cool design on top. And then to get the eye on the front, I've got one of these minifigure backpack pieces, which if you can find yourself a 1x1 red brick with studs on all 4 sides, definitely go for that. But this allows us to get the black eye on the front, and also with this element gives it a grey outline without changing the colour of the brick underneath. This goes straight onto the body of our wheelie, and the last thing we're missing is some arms, which we've got here in the form of these, well, robot arms from Classic Space, and I'm going to use 2 of these, one on either side, so that the arm can still be pulled up and down like a casino machine, like a slot machine you'll find in an arcade. And alongside the rest of our minifigures, I don't think it's too bad to scale. Taking a look at the 3 magazine builds well, I say 3. I'd love to get a magazine build of Wheelie. I guess the Dreams minifigure on the left was definitely in a magazine at some point. We have our Ninjago minifigure here, and then for our Marvel, well, I thought Thor would be a bit lonely, so I gave him 2 friends. Oh yes, and we can't forget about the whole point of this video, the C-3PO on Geonosis Custom. This is the C-3B1, I guess, with the body of the B1 battle droid, a Geonosian B1 battle droid. If I hold it like this, you don't even have to use your imagination. And then the head of C-3PO held on with that 1x1 gold clip that is, first off, a really awesome piece. I am very happy. We've got the opposite side, well, we've got the opposite side to the stud with the bar. Now I guess we've got the anti-studs in the regular clips, but I can't wait to see what new pieces Lego are coming out with August 1st. There are a few new ones to Star Wars sets. We'll be taking a look at them for sure. But thank you so much for watching. That is all for today, and may the bricks be with you always.